How much did you guys miss Tony, feel like, when you guys were in Oregon?
A lot. I mean, it showed not only in our play, but just our emotion. You know, he's a very talkative guy, as you guys know. He's very emotional, very outgoing. He kind of just lifts us up in that area. That's kind of partially his role on and off the court is just giving us that kind of fire, you know, and he gives us, jokes around, you know, he gets us in a good mood, gets us loose, and we were a little uptight on that trip, I felt like, and we didn't really have that chemistry that we normally have when he's there.
How do you think Thomas looked getting thrown into the fire a little bit with his 2 starts?
Good, you know, that's a tough thing to do. I know I had to do it last year on very short notice for the Oregon game here, and it's not easy, you know, it's not an easy thing, and being a center, that's tough too. And playing a team like Oregon, who doesn't really play a legit center, that's tough on him too. There's really never a good matchup for him in that game, especially. And I thought he did a great job. You know, he played his role, he did what he had to do, and he's going to keep continuing to get better because he works harder than anybody.
Where do you feel like the defense kind of took a step backward against Oregon?
Yeah, you know, it was a bad trip. We just had a lot of mishaps, and not having Tony's a big part of that. You know, he's our center. He's what anchors our defense, and it's tough. It's tough to have that, and then having a shorter rotation that makes it tough too. Because you gotta figure out where to conserve energy, and you can't do that on the defensive end, and it's hard to do that in the offensive end when you're giving up a lot of points on the defensive end. So it was a tough deal, and we just got to get over it and try to get our defense back on the right page here at home.
What specifically do you need to improve on the defensive end?
Well, specifically in the Oregon game, we didn't stop dribble drive at all, and we didn't challenge shots. That's something that we've been working on yesterday in practice. I know we'll do it again today. Just challenging shots. We've noticed that watching tape that we've been really bad lately of just getting up in people and making it tough on them making shots. Oregon made a lot of shots in that game, obviously shooting 60+% for the game and making a lot of threes, but we didn't make it hard on them. You know, we got to get up and pressure a little bit more and not make it so easy for them to do whatever they want.
Did it make it hard to maintain maybe defensive effort on every possession because all their shots were going in?
Yeah, you know, that's just a confidence thing. You know, you see, you work hard for a possession, and then it gets down to under 10 seconds, and then they make an open shot or then they make a tough shot. You know, that hurts your confidence on the defensive end, and that hurts your effort a little bit. And we can't have those kind of mishaps. You know, when somebody scores on you, we've been talking about that's a pride deal. You know, if somebody scores on you, you gotta have that pride. Like, all right, they're not scoring the next time, and we didn't really have that in this game.
When you look back on the last Utah game, what kind of got out of hand early on in that one?
Yeah, you know, that's a tough one. We were ready to play for that game. You know, that's a tough place to play first and foremost. We came off a really tough loss against a Colorado team that we thought we should have beaten that game. And we just didn't play well in that game, and it just kind of carried over into the Utah game. And we hung in for about, I think, the first 6 or 7 minutes, but after that, we couldn't make anything, and that affected our defense. You know, when our offense isn't clicking, and then they keep scoring on you, it goes downhill, and we didn't do a good job of fighting that game.
What kind of challenges does Wright present to you guys, just how versatile he is?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like Kyle last year. He's a very big and physical point guard. You know, he's not something that you see very often. He's a 6'6", long, athletic point guard, and he's really good on the defensive end. And he just does it all for his team. And he can beat you by scoring. He can beat you by getting on the glass, by getting steals, and by passing the ball as well. So it's kind of like picking your poison with him and trying to limit him as much as you can, and try to limit the other guys as well.
With Caban, it seems like sometimes he'll take close to 10 free throws in a game, and the next game he'll have no free throws. Is it something where the team needs to design more plays for him, or does he need to kind of just make himself more active?
Yeah, he's kind of a hard one to figure out, just as a point guard. He's kind of a hard one to figure out because he's not really a guy that you got to run plays for. He kind of does it on his own, and I've noticed that just by playing games. You know, he's a garbage guy. He gets majority of his points off offensive glass and rebounding his own misses and going to the basket and stuff. But we're definitely looking for as many ways as we can to get him the ball in operating areas where he can score, because he's one of our best players on offensive end.
Good. How are you? I feel to get that first start under your belt.
It was great, yeah. I mean, it was a big opportunity for me. I just went out there and did the best I could to try to help the team win. It didn't go the way we planned, but I think I learned a lot and definitely gained a lot of experience there.
What was hard for you getting those first 2 starts?
I don't think it was really like anything that stood out for being that hard. It was just kind of playing extended minutes and going out there when the ball went up for the tip, so it wasn't that different, I think, but I think it was just a good experience for me.
Coach was talking about, your mentality in terms of, dealing out, being physical as opposed to other guys being physical with you. Is that just kind of a mental thing you have to get into the swing of it and play a little bit more to?
I think definitely, yeah. I think it's a mindset. Just go out there to be physical. Just have to be the dominating presence down in the paint. That's something I'm definitely working on. It's a big thing for me as a center, so I'm just trying to make strides in that area.
What gave you guys problems defensively in the Oregon game?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, they were incredible on offense, and we kind of made them seem that way because I don't think our defense was working the way we would like it to. I think our help defense is one thing that I guess could have used some work in that game, just being able to help when there's a breakdown and then recovering after that. I think it just didn't go well for us, but we're going to watch the tape on that, learn from it, and be ready for this next game against Utah.
Do you see yourself right now as a center who more that can stretch and kind of hit long jumpers, or is your game thing more focused on just kind of playing around the hoop, I guess, right now?
I think that's definitely big for me as a center to be able to play around the hoop. I think I'm pretty good at those 15-foot jump shots, but I want to make sure that as a center I'm able to get down there at the low post and bang people on offense and defense, get rebounds. That's what I'm supposed to do out there, and shooting jump shots. This is kind of an extra.
How much do you guys think you missed Tony on the Oregon road trip?
It was big, yeah. I mean, all of a sudden to face that adversity of missing a starting center was a big adjustment for us, and then having only 3 bigs to play those 2 games and all being freshmen, it was a challenge for us, but it didn't go the way we planned, but I think we learned a lot from it. We'll be better because of it. Good?